Goodness gracious. Okay. Hello all newcomers and welcome back my fellow Eternians. As always, it's me, Emperor AP, and I am so glad we are all here today. I have a lot of updates. So first off, Leanna, greetings, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream, I'm glad you're hanging out with us. Reptile Keepers, what's up? Hey, it's good to see you. I'm excited to hear about everything going on in your nation. I want to talk about the prestige system in a second, but I am excited to have seen your replies online, and I hope you apply for the prestige system. I think it would be really cool. Truto, hello as well. It's good to see you. First off, we have some news about alliances. Eternia hasn't had an alliance in a long time. Now, the last alliance that we had was with the People's Republic of Parkistopia, and technically we haven't officially ceased that alliance. It is still up on our website. You know, we don't have an end date put to that, but we haven't been able to contact the People's Republic of Parkistopia in a long time. It's been hard for us to continue any traction there, so I don't think that's going to be something that extends very actively for Eternia, but it's still a nice thing to have to commemorate our very first alliance. And that was a very beneficial alliance when it first started out. The thing that I want to talk about now, though, is a potential new alliance. We might have something coming up with the Empire of Whitewind. As you all know, the Empire of Whitewind has already adopted the Imperial Note as a currency in its nation. So already a very dedicated group of people, already a group of people who are working hard to develop their own nation and to make a concerted effort to make Eternia's interests and Whitewind's interests aligned. So that is a big step for us. But then in addition now, they just recently sent us some content as the start to an alliance. So we're going to have a hopefully regular content based alliance. And that's something that's going to be really exciting for us. Going to be really valuable for you guys because you'll get a sneak peek into other nations like we've done before on the channel, but as well you'll get something that is a new fresh face and being able to develop their content and their style while also helping Eternia to reach its goals. So that'll be fantastic. I can't wait to show that off to you guys. They just sent us some content, like I said. Unfortunately, we weren't able to use that because it had copyrighted music in it, but there's going to be some new changes made. There's going to be some stuff updated on that, and then we will hopefully have our first video starting out in Alliance. So that'll be exciting. I can't wait to work more with the Empire of Whitewind, and I'm excited to see that develop. So we don't have an alliance just yet. Again, I just want to clarify that, but once that happens, once we get that content from them, once we upload it, once we make a small discussion about, you know, how frequently content's going to come out and stuff, we will have that alliance. So this is the closest that Eternia has been to an alliance in a long time, and it's something that I am very, very proud of. I can't wait to have that second alliance name right there on the allies list on our website. So that's a big thing. Leanna said, Reptile Keeper said, yeah, let's go. Leanna said, I'm expecting an important phone call, so I may have to leave, but I'll be back as soon as I can. That sounds good. Thank you so much, Leanna. I am excited for your important call. I hope you're doing well, and I hope it is something that'll help you and benefit you in your life. Excuse me. Pug says, hello Pug, it's good to see you. Leanna said, greetings Pug. Reptile says, hey AP, I'm sorry, but we had another conflict. What happened, Reptile? Reptile says, greetings Pug. Frog says, orangutangism is spreading a lot. Hey, tell me more about it, Frog, I'm excited to hear. Leanna said, greetings Frog. Reptile said, greetings. We've talked a little bit about alliances. We've talked about the interest that I have in moving forward with that. One of the things that I haven't really discussed is the prestige system. You know, I just talked about hoping that Reptile joins our prestige system, but the prestige system has some big moves again. Shravi joined us. Hello Shravi, it's good to see you. The prestige system is about to have some new updates and some new developments for it. Some of the biggest are that we are trying to get enough standards to have a whole bunch of skills available for people to apply for. So when somebody gets a license in our prestige system for whatever they're trying to do, they can gain skills which allows them to show off to other people what they're good at and can be verified by the Empire of Aeternia. So when you see a skill on somebody's license in the Empire of Aeternia, you should know that, you know, what they're touting around is something that has been officiated, that they have passed tests, that they have proven proven that they are truly a skilled laborer in that degree. So, that being the case, we are super, super excited to be unveiling a lot of the new skills that are going to be coming out and that have already been developed. When somebody applies for a skill for the first time, they are the testing ground. They are the proving ground for how we can develop a standard that everybody else can be tested by and that allows us to move forward with some ease. So we have stuff based on coding now. We have stuff based on, like physical, like good making to a certain degree. There are a couple things that are developed in that area. There's stuff developed on video making. There's stuff developed on social media. There's stuff developed on economics. There are multiple different skills that have already been standardized and that already have different ways to apply for them and to gain them. So the easiest way, the best way to gain skills, of course, apply for a license. A sovereignty license is going to be your quickest way to do that, so long as you're not a citizen of the Empire. If you're a citizen of the Empire, all you'd have to do, you get your citizenship license. Once you become a citizen, then you can request to apply for specific skills and have those skills applied to your license. But as of the moment, we are really trying to get sovereigns. The reason we're trying to get sovereigns is because sovereigns are people who are in between. They're not a part of another nation, or if they are a part of another nation, they're not the foreign dignitary for that nation. They are just a citizen who is wanting to be a part of our system. And we're trying to get the quest system created. So we're trying to get people to be able to buy and sell and trade and interact with each other in our imperial market. So having people who have these skills, having people who are licensed as sovereigns will go a huge way to developing the quest system and for making it bigger and better. And the quest forum, which is actually on our site. So that's the big move here. That's the new exciting thing, is trying to get more and more people to actually apply for the sovereignty license. If you don't know where that is, I want to go ahead and show you that. If you go all the way down, if you go all the way over to more, and then you go to the Imperial Market here on our website, you can go down to the Prestige system, and it says the Prestige system right here. The system is designed to unify micronational trade and diplomacy. Learn more by reading the full document below, and of course we have that document. And then we have the sovereignty license application, which is right here. Like I said, if you go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different tabs on our website over to more, go down from government, one below government is the Imperial Market. Like I said, you click on that, it brings you to here, go down to the Prestige system, click sovereignty license application. That brings up this application. All it's going to ask you for is your email, your name, your email address is the same thing. So you don't have to worry about filling that out twice. I actually think what happened is there's an automated one that asked for it and then we asked for it, but I will correct that. But we need your name, your email address, and a preferred area of interest. So this is how we break down what different skills go into what categories. There are creation-based skills, which are based around making physical goods. There are performance-based skills, which are based around performance of a service. That can be anything from teaching to gardening to massage therapy, like anything that requires not a physical good at the end, but is just a service. Washing cars, doing something like that. Those are all service-based. Singing, dancing, any art that is a performance art would be considered under performance. But performance has a wide range. Anything that does not require a physical good would generally be performance-based if somebody pays you to do it. If not, it's creation. Then there's a third one, which is logistics. But logistics is specifically based on management and organization of resources. So that might be considered to some in the performance category, but actually it goes a little bit beyond that, which is why we created a special category for it. Logistics would be, hiring people to oversee and manage large-scale production of things, large-scale networks. So anything from management of like a computer system, like a network if you're an IT person, management of, economics for people who might be like, economic advisors for different nations, or somebody who might just manage a business, overseeing, the inventory of a specific company or something, or even somebody who might be managing the individual employees that are developed under a company. So all of those are the areas of interest that you can discuss, and then from there you list specific skills and detail your function in them. So you can just talk about, hey, I'm good at this, I'm good at this, I'm good at this, I'm good at this. When you apply and you actually send in your application, what we do is we review those, we see if anybody's already applied, and if there's already a task that we can give you to verify whether or not you're capable at the base skill level for that. And then if you are, we'll move forward. If it's a brand new skill, we will talk to you about it. We'll say, hey, you're the first person to apply for this. Here is what we're going to do. Here's what we're trying to do. But ultimately, what do you want? What do you think is a good way for us to test that? And we'll talk it over and we'll make sure it's logical. We can't take you saying, hey, I know how to engineer bridges, so I'll build you a little toothpick bridge. That's not going to cut it. But there are plenty of ways to verify someone's skill in something, showing proof of previous projects, things like that. So there will be a lot of ways for us to move forward from there. But then we also have the question of, does your skill set require specific tools to produce the final results? So, for example, if you said, I'm great at 3D printing stuff, I can 3D print, design and 3D print something for anybody, but I don't have a 3D printer, then that would severely limit what you could do in your skill, in your industry. So you could still create files for somebody that wanted to make 3D printed products, but at the same time that would be considered more of like a service, right? You're doing more of it's a physical product. It's not a physical product. I guess it's performance, yeah, because you would be designing a concept for someone and then submitting that to them for them to actually make the product. So that would just be a specific thing, and then we would just say, hey, that's more of a digital skill than a physical skill. So that's the question there. Does your skill set require any special tools? And if so, do you have those tools available? Because those will be big questions that we will want to know for your application and for you to develop your license, but then as well, people will want to know that when they hire you for different projects. And so understanding, the standards for the system allows people who want to hire you in this system to already have that clarified and understood. Multiple things. Leanna said, greetings, Shravi. Reptile said, the conflict is now called the Markfield Batter. The Shine Republic violated our land claims. Do you remember the Rock Empire? I believe so. Sufer said, message retracted. Good to see you, Sufer. If you don't know what we are a micronational YouTube channel. We have created a country and are moving forward with land progress. We're moving forward with development. We're moving forward with growing our YouTube channel and reaching for that monetization. So keep up with us to find out how we do. Vernonium says, hello Vernonium, it's good to see you as well. Vernonium always in the chat. Frog says, did you know that the Bornean orangutan is critically endangered? I didn't, but that's a fantastic ecological statement and something that's interesting for orangutanism. Reptile says, I can trade bombs. Is that okay? That is not okay. That's dangerous, Reptile. Don't do it. Also, you're a reptile keeper. You would think you would trade reptiles, not bombs. Frog says, the word micronational trade actually sounds really cool. I appreciate that, and that's something that we're trying to develop with the prestige system. People, I've talked about the prestige system for quite a while. I don't think anybody gets how truly hype an idea it is. Like, I've been trying to make content about it. I've been trying to make more stuff about it. This is free. The S-Sovereignty license is completely free. We do all the legwork for you. You just say, hey, this is what I'm good at, and then we add you. You get a digital license. You can buy a physical license on our website if you want to, on our Imperial Market, and you could go around and show people that, and it'd be really cool. It'd be hype. You get like your nation's flag put on it. If you are from another nation, if you're from a macronation and you want your macronation's flag put on there, we can do that, but it shows who you are, where you're from, and what you're good at. and then that allows you access to our basic access at its most basic level to our prestige system, which means you can apply for different quests that are put out on our quest forum on our website once we get that up. Right now we've had a couple of difficulties with getting actual other nations to be on that quest system, but on that quest forum. But if you go down to more on our website again, and go all the way to our quest forum, which shows our quest board right here and our active quests. As you can see right now, there aren't active quests, but the reason for that is because what we want to do is get enough applications, enough people with official completed sovereignty license to have a good user base there. People that we know from a broad range of categories will be actively able to use and develop things for people who request quests. So what we're going to do then is we're going to start putting out our own quests, and we're going to start giving rewards and things away to people who are already developing and are the first to adopt that system. So there will be things that will be able to work directly with the Empire of Aeternia. This may be a great way for your nation to build an alliance with us. This may be a great way for your nation to get additional resources if it doesn't have them. And as an individual, you don't even have to be a part of a nation. You may be, a private citizen who, from another country or from our country, who works with Aeternia and decides to develop a business within our imperial market, or decides to, become the representative for their nation. You could move all the way up in the ranks through your nation just by being the only person who could actually get an alliance with Aeternia and develop something that's grounded for your nation there. So that is the whole concept here, is trying to get enough people to do that, and then we're going to jump on board as the first people producing quests and trying to get things done for our nation, and showing how effective that is at developing our nation, and telling other nations, hey, in order for you to jump onto this, all you have to do is get a foreign dignitary's license. For you to jump onto this, all you have to do is upgrade your sovereignty license. And that's the other thing. The sovereignty license as a base level is completely free, but once you get some stuff going, once you get some ability to start investing in that, whether it's through whatever you earn by completing quests for us, or whether you just decide that it's a worthy investment, you can actually upgrade your sovereignty license. It's like $5 a month. But what you can do then is start actively posting your own quests and hiring other people to complete things for you, which you can then use the profits from quests you've completed to hire other people to do quests for you. So you can just start businesses this way. You can develop trade with Aeternia this way. You can develop trade with other micronations this way. You can get a micronation to complete a task for your micronation. This is something that is a big deal, and I sincerely encourage you all to apply for sovereignty licenses. Frog says the word micronational trade sounds really cool. Leanna says, got my call and took care of it. I'll be here for the rest of the stream as far as I know. Thank you so much. Also, we have 7 viewers. I appreciate you guys hanging out. One of the biggest difficulties that we've had as of late is our watch time has been dropping, and it's bringing a tear to my eye. We had been pushing that scale for a long time, and now I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's a lack of live streams. I don't know whether it's a lack of whatever, but our watch time dipped back just a little bit, and it's kept doing that for the last couple streams. So I want to get onto it, and I want to show you guys kind of what's happening there toward the end of the stream, but we need to bounce that back. So we got to figure out good ideas. We got to figure out the way to continue pushing forward on that. Shravi says, what about your defense industry? We don't have a defense industry. We are not interested in micronational war. We're not interested in, developing a military, anything like that, because war is dumb. War is bad. You shouldn't try to develop armies and things like that, especially when you don't need them. If you are in an active fight for your life, defend yourself. But if you're not, don't put yourself in that position. Reptile Keeper says, I have bombs. Stop. Don't. Red says, hello, what did I miss? We're talking about the prestige system. We're talking about sovereignty licenses that you can get for free and start completing quests on our website, over here, website. Also, we were talking about that we are potentially about to have an alliance with the Empire of Whitewind very, very soon. So that's something exciting to check out and keep updated with. And all they're doing for that alliance is creating regular content for us. So when you all are interested in doing that, please let us know, because we want to develop additional alliances. Reptile says, so the Rock Empire split into many micronations, and they violated their land claims, so they got into a battle. Leanna said, the constitutional agreement I was working on took an unexpected turn. I originally was going to argue the Second Amendment, but now I'm challenging the authority of Congress. Ooh, very interesting. How is that going, Leanna? Reptile says, so far my Congress has lots of power, but no one has more power than the king, aka me. Very cool. And then Reptile Keeper said, YouTube play button. Leanna said, Article 1, Section 8, Article 6, Paragraph 2 are the only authority Congress has in making laws, but a lot of laws they make go beyond that. I'm curious to see how that develops, Leanna. That's very cool. Red Dark Wolf says, TVH armies will just waste resources. Agreed. It takes a lot of resources to train and develop an army. It takes a lot of people to watch over that army and to make sure they have things to actively do. That's one of the biggest issues with the US military, right? Poison. Goodness, they got me. No, that was funny. That's one of the big problems with the US military, is that we have all these billions and billions and billions of dollars, like, I think it's like hundreds of billions of dollars that are spent just on the US military and keeping it up and making sure that all the bases are updated, making sure that everybody's, medical leave is paid, making sure all the salaries are paid, making sure, that all the vehicles and equipment are kept up to date. All of those things are just sitting around right now. Like, they're just being maintained. It takes so much for us to maintain this huge military defense force and this constantly updating, constantly evolving, constantly front of the line military, that we're not in a war right now, and we're still just hemorrhaging billions and billions of dollars. Billions and billions of dollars that could be going to cancer research. Billions and billions of dollars that could be going to education. Billions and billions of dollars that could be doing all these things. And whether you're supportive of that or against that, it is a lot of money. So I understand the US being in a specific strategic position to want to have the strongest military, to want to always be on top so that they can affect world politics in that way, but it's still quite an interesting development. So as a micronation, as us being very tiny and having very limited resources to use, we don't want to make the same mistake and use many times the resources that we should be trying to just keep up a modern army. So instead of doing that, we want to go the peaceful route. We know that the US has a military. We know that these other nations are actively trying to keep peace accords with each other and keep development steady. Nobody wants to destroy each other's economy by attacking each other. And so we are in a pretty safe position to not need an army. Reptile says, I need an army I have to defend my nation. Do you? Is anyone attacking you? Red says, you can use that army to find resources or build something. You can, but you don't need to, though. Like, you could just more cheaply hire private companies to build those things, or develop your own engineering corps to build those things and develop those things without needing all the infrastructure that the rest of the military requires. Red says, Reptile Keepers, is your nation under attack? Reptile says, other nations are always having wars with me. Yes, it is right now, in fact. We have 19 acres to show our success from war. But is that legally in your name, though? Like, you got 19 acres signed over to you in contract, in a legal way, or are you just claiming 19 acres because other people conceded their also not contract law, deeded land? Shrabi says, the Navy and Coast Guard are always actively protecting ships from pirates. I'll attack him. Attack who, Shrabi? Also, you'll attack Reptile? Also, Shrabi says, the Nation and Coast Guard are always protecting ships from pirates. Agreed. They do. They do those things. I'm not saying they don't have a use or a value, but the National Guard, the Coast Guard, things like that, very effective, very helpful. They also protect, from pirates. They do rescue missions. And you're right, the Navy does stuff like that too. But I do think you don't need as large a thing. You don't need as crazy a thing. I'm not saying macronations don't have uses for militaries, but what I'm saying is that you shouldn't waste so much of your money when you're a micronation already developing a military that isn't actually needed. You can call the police on someone if you're a micronation. You can just get the macronation to take care of problems for you. It's not that big a deal, and I wouldn't recommend trying to use all of your money and resources to develop that aspect of your independence right now. Edwin Portillo says, hi, hello Edwin, it's good to see you, and I'm glad you're a part of the stream. So again, one of the hardest things for us, one of the biggest developments, biggest pushes that we're trying to make is to gain more effort and more traction in that prestige system by having more people apply for those sovereignty licenses. Because once we have people applying for those sovereignty licenses, and once we have active sovereigns who are working on projects, that shows the value of this system. That shows how large a network we can build, and that's going to be a huge flyer under Aeternia. That's going to be something that really, really allows us to jump forward in leaps and bounds. If any of you are not citizens of the Empire of Aeternia but still want to help our community grow and want to allow us to make progress toward our goals and help you make progress toward yours, the best way to get involved is to become a sovereign, is to develop through that, is to show us what skills you have and what abilities you have so we know more about you, and also so that we can figure out, is an alliance able to be developed through those skills? Is a business partnership able to develop through those skills? At very least, we can give you some quests to do, and we can give you rewards for those and send them to you. So we have the ability to do that now, especially with our PO box, and I'm excited for that. Reptile says, so basically everyone that has a micronation around me has attacked me, and I have won every conflict so far. After I win, they have to sign peace treaties and they cede their land to mine. That's true. But again, voluntary. I respect it to some degree, but if the land isn't actually deeded to you, it's hard to claim it. Red says the best way to fight nations is Discord. Disagree. That's also bad. Discord is where people grow their communities. That's like saying the best way to fight people is to attack hospitals. I disagree. Discord is a necessary infrastructure for many micronations. Doesn't have to be, but it is. For a lot of micronations, that's where they talk to their citizens, that's where they develop their communities, that's where they plan projects. Attacking a nation's Discord sucks because it doesn't actually really hinder them too much. It just makes it an annoyance, and then on top of that, it becomes really negative for your nation because less people want to work with you and less people want you on their Discord because you're attacking Discords. So don't attack Discords. It's not appropriate. Kingdom of Vernonium says, I would say set up a puppet government and not annex. That also seems interesting. Reptile says, however, we plan to give up our land in the USA after we get our island. The island is called Isla Wolf with 50 to 100 foot high cliffs as defense. That's very cool. How much money does that cost? Leanna says, claim only what you have your name on. A deed to a property, for example. Agreed. That's what we're talking about. Deeded land. We're talking about contracted deeded land. Absolutely. Because sure, if you could get people to sign over deeds to their land to you, that would be fantastic. That would mean that you could sell that land. That would be land and resources under your belt, under your ability. But if you don't have the ability to do that, then it's hard to call it your land. If you're not paying for the land, if you're not renting it, if there's not some way that you have legal claim to that land, it probably shouldn't be in your micronational claims. Shravi says, what if you're a military dictator and need a military to have the title? Wouldn't it make sense if you're a military dictator and have no military? Agreed, but why would you be a military dictator? Why would you put the cart before the horse in that sense? Why would you develop an entire government style based around something that is not actually helpful for your nation? Right? I'm a military dictator, and so we need a military. Right, but who do you fight? What's the precedent for that? There's a huge problem with culture in micronations that I want to talk about and that I want to develop, but cultures come naturally through the events that take place in a nation. That's one of the biggest things that I've learned in developing Aeternia, is that there are certain things that you can just develop and design, specifically for your nation, how you want it to be, but a lot of things that are going to come out of your culture will surprise you because they are just based on the circumstances of your citizens. They're based on the circumstances that you developed your nation in. So for a lot of people's nations, they will do things and define things that aren't necessary for their nation and aren't even helpful a lot of the time. That's what we've talked about specific government types before. That's what we've talked about, how difficult it is to start things like democracies because of the small groups, because of initially starting out and having a lack of specifically developed industries to grow into. When you're talking about starting a military dictatorship, it's good because you have complete control and you can decide what you want to do, but what you're deciding to do is put all your money and resources into developing something that doesn't pay you back. It's just this military that looks cool and interesting. And that's fine, you can do that, but it doesn't actually benefit the growth of your nation. When people come to your nation and they ask, why should I join your military dictatorship? You'll say, because we have this great military. And they'll say, okay, who's the military fighting? Who's the military for defending against them? They'll say, just our nation. We just defend our nation. And it's like, okay, sure, but what, can I just call the police? Like, is that appropriate? Does that work? And if it does, if the police, like, if you live in the U.S., regardless of whether you consider yourself a micronation, if the police are called to your house, they will respond. They sure will. So, do not start nations based around things that are hard to give benefit to yourself, especially when you're first starting out, especially when you're first growing, because that's a crucial time for your nation. You want to start your nation off on the right foot, and it's hard to do so by putting funding and resources toward things that aren't able to pay you back right away. Space nations are also a weird thing for me. I kind of don't like nations who are just space-based, and they're saying, we're going to develop our nation only in space, and we claim Saturn, and we're going to have a rocket in 3 years, and we're going to do all this stuff. And it's like, well, okay, but how much is that helping you right now? What are you able to connect between there and here? Because that's a huge goal with a lot of steps. Same thing with the military. Edwin says, I agree with the Kingdom of Bernonium. Agreed. For the puppet government thing, yeah. Reptile Keeper says, BTW have a sniper rifle now. Oh goodness, you're just getting more weapons. Reptile says, we plan to take the island by force, as with its large cliff, we could gun anyone down trying to come and take that island. I disagree. I completely disagree. You think you could hold an island until the actual government that owns and runs it shows up and takes it back. Because they won't have a few guns and a few guns and a few soldiers like you will. They will have a trained military, people who are experienced and have been fighting for a good percentage of their life. They will also all be paid and have rations and have abilities to import the resources they need to continue to prolong that. If you are on an island and you are trying to steal that island from another country, all that country has to do is stop you from leaving the island, and they won't even have to get close. They'll just blockade the island, and then you will start to starve and run out of resources. You'll run out of bullets, you'll run out of food, you'll run out of water, and you will eventually starve. If anybody gets injured, you will have no medical supplies, and there will be large issues for you. If anybody gets sick, if disease starts spreading through the island, you will be in trouble fast, and you will be waving a white flag. Don't do that. That's a bad way to go. And it also, if you did do it practically in real life, would make people feel strange about micronationalism, because you would say, I did this as my micronation, and people would say, do micronations really go around attacking people and taking their land? We shouldn't be. We absolutely shouldn't be. You are allowed to create something of your own to better the world. You are allowed to say, I deserve my own independence, but you are not allowed to go and take other people's land that is rightfully theirs, that's been developed over a culture and history of hundreds, if not thousands of years of progress to that point. Don't do it. Vernonium says, how will you handle global climate change, Reptile Keepers? Red Dark Wolf says, there's 20 miles of unclaimed land in Bosnia. That's interesting. And how does that work? Reptile says, I plan to plant trees. In fact, I have purchased a baby redwood, which I can plant in my backyard, live up to thousands of years to suck up carbon dioxide and pump out oxygen. And again, see, that's very cool. I like that idea of trying to help to preserve, one, the island if you ended up actually buying it, or if you ended up developing it. But as well, even just for your nation right now, that is a cool thing to do. You can figure out, what products you can make from redwood, and you could sell them. That's a whole thing right in itself. Why do you need to take an island? I don't understand. Red says, I think I'm going to make my nation a realist. Thank you, Red. Hey, I appreciate it. Then don't attack people's discords. If you want to make your nation a realist nation, work toward economics, work toward trying to hit certain goals. Don't attack other nations. Don't hit their discords. Thomas says, Thomas96 says, hello everyone, I'm the Republic of Moroccan, but I'm on an alternate account. It's good to see you, Thomas, and I am glad to see that the Republic of Moroccan is representing. We also have 12 viewers now. The last stream that we did on Israel versus Palestine had 19 views. We almost hit 20. It was crazy. That's a big thanks to Nathan, I want to say. Nathan has been running our Instagram and Twitter, and was really posting heavily on Instagram, trying to get people to jump into the stream, trying to get people to actually promote and get us to where we need to be. So thank you so much to Nathan for helping us to get almost to that 20 active viewer place. We're at 13 now. If you guys like the video, that helps a ton. Y'all are helping our watch time right now. We told y'all our watch time was suffering a little bit, and y'all with that 13 are helping us to keep it up. So we're going to keep talking about how Aeternia is growing. Please, while everybody's on this stream, I want to plug the prestige system. Get a sovereignty license, apply, it's free. You can tell us what skills you have, you can apply for quests. We're about to start putting out quests which will get you real valuable items that we are going to spread out and give as rewards for these quests. So if you're interested in doing that, apply to our prestige system. Apply for a sovereignty license. You can apply on our website. Of course, as we saw earlier, all you have to do to apply to that is go to the Imperial Market, go over to more on our homepage. Go down to the Imperial Market, it'll bring you to this webpage, then you go down to the Prestige system, and the Sovereignty License application is the second button, the second link there. So if you click that, that will help a ton in developing our Prestige system, and will allow you to start earning some cool things from doing quests for us. Leanna says, the only true reason you should have a military is to defend your nation. Agreed, but most micronations have no need for it by that definition. Shravi says, like Argentina and the UK, the Argies failed to hold the island. It's a big difficulty. You absolutely shouldn't just try and take people's land. Vishwam Kandawal says, so I have a micronation and I would be signing the Constitution in the next few months, converting the nation into a democracy. But the problem I'm facing is there aren't enough people. Any tips? Don't start a democracy if you don't have enough people. That's the biggest thing. We've talked about this. I recommend you watch our video on types of governments. We have videos talking about the different types of governments and the problems with each. For micronations, monarchies, things that have single rulers are generally the best. Because if your nation completely falls out from under you, if everybody underneath you gets busy and you can't have regular development of your nation, you have to be the one to keep that forward. And you could say, well, I could do that with a presidency a little bit. I could, be the president and just kind of, if I'm the only person in the nation, I can vote, but that's not really a democracy. That's just saying you're a democracy and being an autocratic state. So instead, I just recommend you go forward with something that is not a democracy to start out with. Once you get enough steady success to afford democracy, do a democracy. But wait until you have the actual ability to keep people consistently voting and active and using, because it's a huge bureaucratic system. Developing a democracy is a bureaucratic system which has a lot of benefits and a lot of effects, because it can help to prolong your nation and make sure that it doesn't fall as easily. You can always replace people in a democracy. Even the leader gets voted in, and so there's great change and great stability that comes with having a democracy. But you shouldn't develop a democracy if you do not have enough people to support it consistently. So I'd suggest for your best success, make something else. Don't convert it to a democracy, at least at that stage. Red says, how much money has Eternia made? That's a great question. So if you actually look at our website, you can see that our treasury right now, our growth toward our land purchase is currently at $582.99. We are almost to $600 out of $10,000 that we need to purchase land. That near $600 figure is what is in our treasury. What that means is that's how we count everything that we have earned as not as profit but as revenue. So that means we purchase the items to make our products, the things that are on the Imperial market. Then we sell the items on the Imperial market at a specific price, and if you were to just talk about the profit, you would subtract the amount we spent from the amount that we sold it for to get just what we made in profit. But we don't consider that. We do consider it, but for the naming of our treasury and for the numbers that we put there, we take the entire revenue and we describe that as our treasury. Because even the losses from our resources, the things that we have to buy in order to make those products, I actually take on as personal responsibility, a personal debt. So I purchase all of those items to invest in Eternia. That's one of the biggest ways that I invest, besides doing these live streams, is I physically buy all of the goods necessary to help keep the Imperial market up. And that way I can take the entire revenue and put it toward our land purchase. So our treasury is right around $600 right now. Multiple people. Reptile said, if there was any confusion, allow me to elaborate. The island is about 1,000 miles off the coast and at least 100 miles away from any populations, a very small, uninhabited, rocky island. I understand, but if you legitimately try and claim anything that's already owned by another country, it doesn't matter how far away it is, they will show up. And remove you, or you just won't. You'll just starve on the island. You know, somebody will get sick, somebody will get bit by a poisonous animal. There won't be any way for you to get to a hospital, and people will die. Please do not just go to an island. Vishwam says, I am representing my micronation, the micronation of the AVR. Congratulations! I'm excited to see that. And how is that going for you, Vishwam? Also, if you are, I recommend you apply to our micronational map. We've already had multiple people applying, and we have 92 nations as of right now on our micronational map. Almost to 100. We need 8 more for 100, but you can see there are micronations all over the world that are being developed. People in Malaysia, people in the Philippines, people in Korea, people in China, people in the Middle East, people in Europe, people in the US, Canada, Mexico. The only things we don't have so far are South America, a lot of Central America, and Africa and Australia, as well as if we had Antarctica, that would be interesting. But micronations, I don't really support Antarctic claims because nobody's actually going to stay and hang out in Antarctica. If you lived in Antarctica and you actually lived there, I would support those more. But I recommend you apply to the map. All you have to do to apply is go over here. It's on the home page of our site actually, and you can go right there to apply for the map. So yeah, real quick. Edwin says, we have a tree day where seeds and garden supplies are free to encourage people to plant trees, and we don't drive our cars for a day. That is a fantastic way to help climate change and to help to fight that. You as a micronation are pushing the boundaries and pushing the narrative for what it means to be truly affecting the way in which we live. So thank you so much for helping. From someone who breathes oxygen, I am excited that you were helping to give us some more of it. The Russian Dane says, Red Dark Wolf, where in Bosnia? Ooh, see, the Russian Dane jumped in. Hello, Russian Dane. I am glad to see you. If you don't know, we are a micronation YouTube channel. And if you would like to subscribe to help follow along on our journey to further independence. We're trying to purchase land, as you've heard, and we are trying to continue to grow our economy. Red says, I don't know, one guy told me that. I was friends with that guy and he kept insulting me, so I booted him. And then Red said, yo, can I be Prime Minister of Aeternia? So we are not a democratic system. We do not have a Prime Minister. However, we do have a full governmental system based around our emperorship. So we have the emperorship and we have houses. I actually recommend that you check out this guide that we have in our government tab. If you go over to more and you click government, you can actually see the setup for our government. So we have the emperorship, the houses, which is the house of treasure and the house of others, and then underneath there we have Gray Mare as of right now, his portrait. I want to put Stephen Vince's portrait, Master Stephen Vince and Master Gray Mare, as the two heads of their houses, the two masters of the houses. And then beyond there, I want to see Nathan's portrait as well come up for the house of others. We are needing someone in the House of Treasure, so that'll be something that we talk about pretty quickly, is trying to get a noble for the House of Treasure, someone who can specifically keep up day-to-day operations in a specific planned way. Nathan, for example, with the House of Others, has been targeting our social media. He's now fully running our Twitter and Instagram, so that is a big help to us and is something that we hope to find a similar effect for in the House of Treasure. And then, of course, we have all of our citizens. So if you would like to join a house, if you want to become a part of the government, like you're saying, Red, the first thing you'd have to do is become a citizen. The things you have to do to become a citizen are, first, you have to either create content for us, some way to earn your citizenship, or you pay $1 a month tax in citizenship tax on our Patreon. But the easiest way by far is to make content for us. That just allows us to move our economy forward, make sure everybody is working toward the development of Aeternia. And then the next thing is you cannot be a citizen of any other micronation. We do not have dual citizenship in Aeternia because we want to make sure that everybody's working to develop Aeternia. So if you are interested in becoming a citizen of Aeternia and fully and completely a citizen, you can go ahead and apply over here. You actually go over to the citizenship tab and you can click the button that says the Empire needs you. It'll bring you to the citizenship application, and I recommend you read the, for those interested in the offer, interested to offer citizenship to Aeternia, please keep in mind. And then these are the things that you need to keep in mind that will tell you everything you need to know about, we will send you some stuff after you apply that will help to move forward with, are you going to create content for us? Are you paying a citizenship tax? Figuring out all of that and what you want to do in our empire, whether you are trying to join the government, whether you're trying to start a private business, that we can continue to help you develop your plans and make sure that they succeed. We want to invest in every citizen we have. We don't have a huge citizenship, but we invest in every single citizen as much as we can, and that's exactly why. Because we want to make sure that we succeed, and we want to make sure that all of our citizens are around not just for a day or a week, but for years and years and years to come. We want lifelong citizens. We want people who are excited to eventually move to Aeternia and to, have houses there and to be developing businesses there. Thomas said, we have an army to defend my micronation and to get better control of how much furry fandom is in my micronation. Oh, so you're fighting against furries? I wouldn't recommend that. That's like a whole culture of people. That sucks. Don't try and remove a culture of people from your nation. Vernonium says, we are a constitutional monarchy. That's very cool and very exciting. Leanna says, the only way to own an island that isn't claimed would be to buy a bunch of ships, take them into the middle of the ocean, and weld them together. Or just dock them next to each other. I don't think you necessarily even have to weld them. Leanna, Reptile Keeper says, Greenistan picks up gun, Emperor AP. No, don't do that. Greenistan picks up a gun, looks at micronations near Greenistan, gunshots. Yeah, exactly. I know you've been in some wars, Reptile. Nueva says, hi AP, what's new? Good to see you, Nueva Scotia. I'm glad to see you joining us. We are talking about the sovereignty licenses in our prestige system. They're 100% free to get, and I recommend you guys apply because we're about to start putting out quests on our website for those who have sovereignty licenses. There's going to be some things we need to do. There are going to be some rewards and prizes that we give for completion of those quests. So we want people applying, and the sovereignty license is 100% free, and it's something that will benefit you as the prestige system grows. So I recommend that whether you're a part of our nation, whether you're a part of another nation, that you apply for the sovereignty license. Now, if you are already a citizen, you don't need to actually apply for the sovereignty license. Your citizenship counts and allows you to respond to quests. All you have to do is complete skills. You just need to fill out a contact us and request to be approved for testing for certain skills, and we will get that in for you. Edwin says, I have to go, but it was nice to see the stream. Have a good day. Good to see you, Edwin. Have a good day. Again, 13 viewers. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Reptile says, AP, I have a trade idea. Greenistan is going to be a nation next to the sea, so what if I traded fish? That would be very cool. I would say that you need to be careful because selling any food items actually has a lot of like USDA regulations and stuff like that if you're in the US. So making and selling food items for business can be hard, and I recommend you look into the laws and regulations around that. If you're able to complete all the laws and regulations around that and get, a business license and approval to sell food items to the general public, then yeah, sure, that would be wonderful. But it's a long process. Shravi says, like Clipperton Island, I suggest you look it up. We sure will. Thank you very much, Shravi. Frog says, a nomadic country that goes around place to place living around would be cool. Agreed. Bishwam says, I did apply to the map. I'm from India. It's there. Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. Are you actually on the map, or did you just apply? If you just applied, I will be putting it on very soon. Nueva says, saw me on the map. Let's go. Yeah, you got it, Nueva. We believe in you. Have the others been breathing helium? We're certainly trying not to. Russian says, I'm already subscribed. Hey, thank you so much, Russian Date. Red Dark Wolf says, can I be governor of a territory? So that's actually an interesting question, and I want to bring that up as well. So we will have lords for our territories, which are effectively the governing leaders of those territories. Now, the way that you can actually become a lord is by first developing yourself and the rest of the government of Aeternia. As of right now, we don't have any lords because all of the land that is controlled by Aeternia, I physically visit. We have our northern territory and our southern territory. If you wanted to become the lord of a territory, you would have to either move to one of the currently existing territories, which would be hard to do, or secondly, you can eventually work your way through the ranks of our government, continue to help us with achieving our goals, and then once we purchase land, you could actually become the governor of that land, so long as you were willing to do all that it takes. Like I said, we are a realist micronation. We're trying to get people to actually live and develop our land, so if you were to want to become the lord of a piece of land, you'd have to live there, you'd have to work for the Empire of Aeternia full-time to oversee its developments and operations. So it's definitely not impossible. We would encourage you to do so. Just apply for citizenship. Let's move through some stuff. Let's continue to develop. Mark Zoop says, hi, Mark, how are you? It's good to see you. If you don't know what we are a micronation that is trying to claim our land, trying to purchase a piece of property to develop and grow our land claims, and most importantly, we're trying to develop our economy. There's a lot of stuff that we've been doing, as you can see by our website, and I recommend you check us out for more. This website, by the way, guys, is eternianempire.wixsite.com/imperial market. Long name, but there should be links in the description, and also if you type in the Empire of Aeternia on Google, you should be able to find it pretty quickly. You can apply for citizenship, sovereignty license, foreign dignitary license, all sorts of things on there. Learn more about our prestige system, our government, and potentially apply for any and all of those things that you want. Leona said, greetings, Mackie. Oh, it's Mackie Zoo. Sorry, not Mark Zoo. It's good to see you, Mackie. Mackie says, winky face, what do you think about Poland? I am excited about Poland and micronations coming from Poland that have been developing. We have more and more European micronations joining our map every day. Shravi says, I take my AP European History exam tomorrow. Good luck, Shravi. We believe in you. Study hard, do well, and succeed. Getting through those exams is going to be tough, but it will be well worth it in the end, especially once you go to university, especially once you start developing into the career that you want to. All that work will have paid off in people's smiles and people's excitement to see you and all of the skills that you are bringing to the table for their company, for your own company, for whatever it is that you choose to pursue in life. People will be floored by your intelligence and your ability to succeed in the face of adversity. Nueva Scotia says BRB. Good to see you, Nueva. Also, we are at 16 viewers right now, almost to the 20 mark, almost to the never-before-seen number actively on our stream. But right now, we are at the 16, 4 away from that grand magical number. So if you all have some friends that you'd like to watch the stream, if you want to help push us over the edge, you definitely could by sharing this video with them and liking the video too. That helps us a ton. We have a few things to get to. Vishram said, check Discord, sent a request for a treaty. Oh, we absolutely will. Reptile says, okay, within the last 5 minutes, war has broken out across the front. Shine Republic has taken Markfield. Oh, goodness, it's getting crazy. Truto says, hello, Truto. It's good to see you. As well, 16. Oh, I'm so floored by 16 viewers. It's good to see you, Truto, and I'm glad to see you joining us. Nueva Scotia says, remember that the Micronational War video when you made the Federation of Butthurt Babies? Yes, the Federation of Butthurt Babies is a real issue. Bringing it back. We also made a continual follow-up video on that based around ridiculous titles. So in our ridiculous titles video, you should go check that one out. We actually make a reference to the Federation of Butthurt Babies, where one of the representatives of the Federation of Butthurt Babies comes out and declares their title, and I'm dressed silly, and I'm like, we in the Federation of Butthurt Babies, I'm whatever from the Federation of Butthurt Babies. Go check out that video. It's pretty funny as well. Red Dark Wolf says, cause my health, it's so silly. Anytime I do one of those videos, I always laugh at myself the entire time. Like every shot that I set up, I feel so silly. Red Dark Wolf says, can my house become a territory? It could. There's definitely possibility for that. Now, I would like to get into more talks about that and more development for that. What I would recommend is, again, before we would do anything like that, because I wouldn't want to guarantee that to you just yet, let's work together. Let's see how much we could do and develop, because the biggest thing we would want out of a territory is for it to be actively growing. For you to run a territory and to be the lord of a territory, you would need to be actively recruiting and managing citizens. You'd have to be actively producing something for development, economic development of the Empire of Aeternia. That would probably be content. So basically you'd have to be actively getting more citizens to us who are willing and able to meet citizenship requirements. You'd also have to be using those people in order to develop content for us and to post things about, what your territory is up to. You'd start to have to become a part of our government meetings and doing regular check-ins with us. There is a lot involved with that. So I'd say don't go from 0 to 100 right away. Don't go from not even a citizen to one of the hardest possible positions in our government to maintain and to oversee. I would recommend starting small. Let's see if we can get you a citizenship. Let's see if we can get you into and interested in what Aeternia is doing. There is no cost to citizenship if you just create content for us. You can create content for us for as long as you want. You can leave a citizenship at any point that you want. So it's basically free, besides donating your time. And we can see how much you like the system we've developed. We can talk about it. We can discuss different avenues for your growth and success within our micronation. But I don't want to just promise you something right away that wouldn't be able to successfully deliver. So I have to think about all of our other citizens and all of the development we've done so far in order to achieve that. But it is certainly a possibility. I'd just say it's something that has to be worked up to. A lot of stuff. Oh goodness. Truto says, I declared an independent state. Congratulations. Vernonium says, hello, Truto. Truto says, I'm in Poland. Yeah, you're actually a part of our micronational map. Mackie Zoop says, yeah, I know who you are. I'm subscribed for a long time. Thank you very much, Mackie. I appreciate that. And if you can share that with other people, it would mean a lot to us. Thomas said, I go now because there's a humorous TV program now playing. It was great to see you all. It's great to see you, Thomas. Good to see you. Vernonium says, what do you think of Vernonium, AP? I would like to know more about Vernonium. I think it's interesting that it's a constitutional monarchy. I have seen Vernonium a lot in our in our streams, and I know that you all are developing very, very rapidly. So I suppose I need to do my research and be properly educated on Vernonium's history and its past, but it's certainly a very interesting nation, and I want to see more from it for sure. Trudeau says, oh, it's you. United Kingdom of Scotland says, good morning, Your Imperial Majesty. Good morning, United Kingdom of Scotland. I hope you're doing well. Leanna says, message retracted. Vernonium says, there is a place outside Cloverfield that floods a lot. Ooh, be careful. Trudeau says, the Federation of Butthurt Babies claims beer to will, Antarctica, Mars, and Brazil. Exactly. Thank you, Trudeau. You know exactly which video I'm talking about. Reptile Keeper says, AP, I don't know how anyone hasn't thought about this, but can't I just dredge up an island on a shallow part of the seabed? It's not that people haven't thought about it, it's that that's incredibly expensive. You know what I mean? You're talking about a hundreds of millions of dollars project. China does that. The country of China does that. The country of Saudi Arabia does that. There are islands that have been developed in the Arabian Peninsula that are specifically that, artificial islands. There are artificial islands developed in the South China Sea that are specifically that. It is entirely possible. It is just one of the most difficult, terraforming projects humanity has ever undertaken, and is incredibly expensive. You need multiple, like hundreds of millions of dollars to achieve in even the smallest reasonable scale. Also, that's going to erode just like any other island, but will erode very quickly because it's such a new island. So you need to constantly be updating it and stabilizing it with, grasses and roots, and actively putting more and more sand in. It's just something that's so costly that you need to have a big economy before you even think about that. Nueva Scotia says, can't find it. Leanna says, I'm going to execute a plan to get your watch time up. I'm going to play a playlist from beginning to end, even if I don't watch it all myself. Thank you very much. That would actually help a lot. If people ever wanted to do that, just leave it on in the background, I would really love that. It would help a lot. I know some people do that with the streams, where they just kind of like set it off to the side and leave it running in the background. That really does help us. It helps us a lot. So thank you all for that. And Leanna, thank you especially for helping to try and get our watch time up. Nueva Scotia says, can you send the link? Can I send the link to the website? It should be in the description. And if it's not in the description, the Empire of Aeternia, just Google the Empire of Aeternia. Watch. Hold up. Let me Google it right now. The Empire of Aeternia. Boop. Aeternian Empire Micronation, the Empire of Aeternia, Wix.com. First link. Second link is our micro wiki. Third link's our YouTube. Also another one for our YouTube. There's a whole bunch. Our Twitter, our Instagram, our Discord server, our Reddit, everything. We have a whole bunch of stuff developing on that. But yes, that should be in the description. If not, it is 100% on Google, or within the first page of Google. You should be able to find it. Red Dark Wolf says, I'm gonna do that too, Leanna. Oh, thank you so much, Red. That means a lot. And also, Trudeau says to title the video. Oh, to the title video. Got you. I can send that out. Red says, I'm going to use my alts too. Nueva Scotia says, Butthurt Babies is the greatest nation, claiming Poland, USSR, America, Brazil. I appreciate it. Kingdom of Annie says, hi. Hello, Kingdom of Annie. How are you? Reptile Keeper says, greetings. Mackie says, AP, like most citizens live abroad from Aeternia, so shouldn't you try to not only sell items, but maybe also some stuff on the internet? I don't know. I'm very curious as to what you mean. Mackie, please email us, talk to us about your idea. I would love to hear more about it. As well, we do sell some things online. I am curious to see as to what you mean by things on the internet, but we do sell items on the internet. So we have, of course, our Imperial Notes on our website here. We have our Owl's Mark. Our Imperial Notes are a way that you can support us. They're actually not used as a currency right now. You can't trade them in. But we are trying to get the proper money transmitter's license to allow you to do that, because we want people to be able to use them on the market so bad. We want people to be able to purchase things from this market with the notes that they already have. We have a wonderful aristocrat board that has developed with Leanna as the first aristocrat, the number one aristocrat on the top of the aristocrat board at 65 notes. She passed up Matthew Freeman, who held that title for months and months. So Well deserved there by Leanna, but also this is something that has been an incredible development for our community. So the Imperial Notes have been helping us out a lot. The Owl's Mark as well, people supporting their nation by purchasing the Owl's Mark and showing its success. One of the things I want to show off right now, you can actually see the Owl's Mark here. It comes on a beautiful little pillow, and it comes tied down so that it can be presented in a beautiful little fashion. So if you wanted to have your Owl's Mark, it is kind of a one-size-fits-all thing. So it has a little stretchy cord in the back with a nice little design on there so that you can attach that to, your finger if you want, but you could also leave it just on here in a display case. You could put it on a chain. There's a lot of different stuff you could do with that. But yes, so we have that. We also have our prestige system licenses. Now that's everything from the citizenship license if you're a citizen, all the way through to a sovereignty license. If you wanted to get your sovereignty license for free online, you can get a digital one. That'll show all the skills you have, that you're a part of the prestige system, that you can apply for quests. And then if you wanted to get a physical one, you want to show it off to people in the real world, you could buy one for $5. One-time fee of $5. We will send you your very own personal laminated license. So if you drop it in water, it'll be fine. As long as you don't cut it up, it's going to be safe for you. And then of course the Unity Medal. The Unity Medal, a way to show off solidarity between all micronations around the world and all independence movements. The Unity Medal is a great way to show support for that. So we do have a lot of stuff on our website that is helping us out. Ooh, Crafter says, gotta go. It's good to see you, Crafters. Crafter says, hey, I'm making my own micronation now. 39 citizens. Congratulations. It was good to see you, and I hope you have a good day. United Kingdom Scotland says, good morning, Nueva Scotia. Nueva Scotia says, very nice, how about you? I meant the video with butthurt babies, not the war video. Oh, okay. Nueva Scotia says, I used to be a role player, so I claim Jupiter and a Minecraft world. Still, that's pretty cool. Like, it's cool to see people develop cultures. I do not shit on, excuse me, I don't like to talk bad about simulationists, role players, fantasy nations, whatever you'd like to call them. I don't like to talk bad about fantasy nations because there is still a lot of culture that's developed there. There is still important communities that people spend every day developing and making and being a part of. They have their friends there. They have their confidence there. They talk to different people. They become a huge part of their lives. So simulationist nations, fantasy nations can all be very, very important, but realist nations, of course, are the way to sincere independence. So it's just different motivating goals. Trudeau says, we are very sad. Why are you sad, Trudeau? I'm sad for you. Why are you sad? Be happy, Trudeau. Please, please. The one Polish micronation we have needs to be happy, needs to be hyped about the micronational community. Kingdom of Annie says, Eternia, thank you for recognizing us in the like-dislike war. Of course, Annie, the Kingdom of Annie, helped us so much in trying to move the dislikes on our last video. Our last video, when we did Israel versus Palestine, had a whole bunch of dislikes. Someone was spamming dislike, and then all of a sudden we started getting a whole bunch of likes. So thank you so much, Kingdom of Annie, for that, and helping to turn the tides and actually get us some more support. Nueva Scotia says, what? Crafter says, gotta go. Nueva Scotia says, you mean the time where you were mad at me because I didn't recognize? Yeah. I'm confused. Kingdom of Annie says, haven't you seen the last video in Nueva Scotia? Kingdom of Scotland says, why are you very sad now, Shuto? Nueva Scotia says, nah. Kingdom of Annie says, that was the like-dislike war. Nueva Scotia says, haven't checked your channel in a while. Oh, okay. Mackie says, no, I'm talking about things that aren't items, things that are in the internet, and that aren't items, like editing art or something. Agreed. That's actually a very big thing that I would love to do. That's part of the reason that we're actually developing the prestige system and sovereignty licenses, is we want to have skilled laborers in our workforce who are developing things for us. So yes, 100%, we are trying to do that, and we'll be doing that more actually. Nueva Scotia says, I only see your Marvel videos. Shravi says, in school I have a woodshop class. I made pins and boxes, but next year we're supposed to learn how to build pantry cabinets. That can be my trade skill. Absolutely, that could be your trade skill right now, Shravi. I would absolutely recommend that you apply for our sovereignty license. Nueva Scotia says, I don't either. Leanna says, congratulations, crafters. Shuto says, Gagalytic is becoming the main script in Shuto by 2025. Congratulations. Nueva Scotia says, oh, I thought it was one of Annie's. Sorry, I was being dumb. Weird. All good. Scotland says, I need a new friend and allies with my nation. Interesting. Reptile Keeper says, hey, AP, BTW, as Greenistan, we are assuming that a big countries might be willing to let go of small island because we don't want to invade others or cause casualties. I sometimes countries give up land. That's true, but they don't usually. For people who haven't lived there for a long time, if it was like a cultural thing, they may, but I think you just showing up and trying to take it, I don't think they would be down for it. Reptile Keepers, Vernonium says, there are no micronations near me, but that's great, because that means that you're the only micronation in the game there. You've got some clout, you've got some advantage. Scotland says, now you know Nova Scotia. Kingdom of Vernonium says, I don't know if that's good or bad. I think it's a bit of both. Vernonium says, Google the Falklands. Nova Scotia says, I don't know what you're saying, UKS. What's UKS? Oh, United Kingdom of Scotland. That's fair. Also, we have 16 viewers right now. Again, 4 away from that 20 mark. I am incredibly excited about that. But yeah, we have 28 sales so far. We have a 5-star average rating on our product. So thank you all very much. There have been 10 different reviews of our site, and that is very, very nice. It's really helpful to getting us out there, not only to people who are supporting our micronation, but also just to other people on Etsy. So that's a very big deal for us. Yeah, and so Mackie says Vernonium's in my area too. Nueva Scotia says, I'm bordered by one micronation. Armin says, hey yo, what's going on? Hey Armin, it's good to see you. How is Sawdustistan today? As well, we are talking about the sovereignty license in the prestige system. So, we're at 17. If you guys hit that like button, you can get us to 20 on this stream. We're 3 away from 20 on this stream. We're getting close. We keep getting so close to steady 20 on a stream. But yeah, all I would say is if you're interested in doing that, if you're interested in developing that, become a sovereign for us. You get a sovereignty license, it's 100% free, and you can start applying for quests, which we're going to be putting out very, very soon. If you don't know how to get to it, go to more on our website, go on that top banner, let me see, up. Can my finger go up there on our website? Go up to the top of that tab, go over to more, go down to the Imperial Market, go down to the Prestige system, and then click on the second link, which is the application to sovereignty license. And you can tell us what your skill is, and you can start to apply for quests. Mackie says, and it's sad. Nueva Scotia says, I'm bordered by one micronation, it's called Backyardia. That's very cool. I would love to see Backyardia on our map. Reptile Keeper says, hey Pete, another reason for war is because we are surrounded on all sides by micronations and need to make clear escapes to the outside world. Fair enough, but I still don't think you need war with them. It'd be really cool if you could all work together to develop something in your area, especially since there's so many micronations. That's rare that there are that many micronations in a small community. Nova Scotia says, I love this chat. It's active and has some interesting stuff. Thank you, Nova Scotia. I think so. All of our community is very cool. As well, our Discord is basically the same thing. If you want to be a part of our chat, but we don't always have live streams, our Discord is a great way to keep up with all the people who hang out in the chat. Reptile Keeper says, I'm bordered by 7 micronations. That's crazy. Greenistan has 7 different micronations around them, and they still haven't developed this, big thing. I think you should really try and partner up with those micronations. Nova Scotia says, I don't know what you're on about, UKS. Truto says, I'm backo. I'm glad to see you're back. Nova Scotia said, you're bacon? It does look like they're about to type bacon without the N. ZZ Montage Club says, hey, it's Zarya. I'm not sure if you remember me. I used to play Minecraft with you. I sure do, Zarya, and I'm glad to see you. ZZ Montage Club. Tell me more about what you're up to, Zaria. It seems like you started a new YouTube channel. How is that going? And also, what brings you back to the channel? Mackie says bacon. Yep, exactly. Kingdom of Annie says, when we go to Disney, I'm going to make a Colony Island territory, and it's near Chef Mickey's. I love it. I would love to see that video, actually. That's very cool. Nova Scotia says, hey, I'll join the Discord. Thank you very much. That would put us up to 200. We may be over 200 now. Shravi says, if Aeternia were to open a museum, what would be included? Oh, that's a fantastic question. Our flag, of course. We actually need to finish developing our very first flag, but that's something that'll be coming out hopefully this summer. So the flag will be really cool to include. We would also include, of course, the different things that you see on our website that are part of our culture, our currency, our Owl's Mark, our Unity medal, and of course our licenses, the different licenses people can apply for. All of those things are a part of our culture. As well, we would explain and show off different parts of the government, members of the government, the history of the government. We would probably show off some of those sillier videos we've done to show some of the fun that we've had, talking about the first time that a citizen visited the Empire of Aeternia in person, which was Grey Mare. That was last year and was an incredible experience. We would talk about that. There's a lot of stuff that we would put in there. And we'd probably put the micronational map up as well. We'd probably have a big version of that to display. That's a great question, Shravi. Reptile Keeper says, well, the bad part about the micronation that borders me is that all of them are aggressive and force my nation to be aggressive as well to survive. I understand that, but I think if you just didn't play a part in it, if you just did your own thing, and you started making money and being successful, you could probably convince those other nations to join you. As well, once people grow up more, they tend to kind of lean off of the aggression and need to find other ways to do things. ZZ Montage says, I didn't know, I saw you on my suggestion list and I just wanted to stop by. Hey, I really appreciate it. I am glad to see you joining us and supporting us. We have been trying to grow our nation. We're like getting closer and closer to purchasing land. We're getting closer and closer to actually getting YouTube monetization. So thank you so much for stopping by, because you're helping make that happen. Nueva Scotia says, it's actually pronounced I, not to be rude. It's not A. Not to be rude, it's A. It's not A, it's I. Nueva Scotia? Is that what you're saying? I'm sorry, it's not A, it's I. I'll join the Discord. Okay, I get you. My apologies. Okay, so it's Nueva Scotia, but the pronunciation of A-Y-E is I, not A. Okay, makes sense. ZZ Montage, I appreciate it. I've always said that as A, and I guess I've just been, I appreciate it, now I'll know. There's a number of things I've done like that throughout my life, where you pronounce something the wrong way for a long time in your life, and then one person corrects you, and you go, oh my god, I feel so silly. So I'm glad. I will now forever use that, thanks to Nueva Scotia. ZZ Montage Club says, do you still play Minecraft? We do. We haven't played it too much on the stream. There's been a lot of crazy stuff going on. We've been talking about Israel and Palestine. We've been talking about a whole bunch of stuff. So yes, we will be playing that soon. We do still play it. Leanna says, Shravi, I mentioned the museum ID to AP a while back. We thought it would be good to have a history of all micronations. Yes, absolutely. I would love to do that, and I'd love to do that on the site as well. Mackie Zoop says, AP, I have a question about the flag and why the arrow isn't only on white, but also overhangs on violet. That is a fantastic question. So, Mackie, the best explanation that I can give for that is because of the symbolism of the white and purple and how that connects. So the purple itself, it represents our government, represents the monarchy, represents the establishment of our nation and what the precedent for that is. So that's what that purple represents. The red, of course, representing our citizens and our economy and the development that is, red being a lot of the time meaning, like blood connection, like familial connection sort of thing. And then the white, of course, being the purity of our ideas, our aspirations for a better life and a better society. That white meaning not just necessarily purity in a sense, but progressive ideals, wanting to move forward with the future, wanting to move forward with a sleekness, with a beautiful idea in mind, a peaceful idea in mind. And then that purple and white connecting being both the connection to our people in the purple in our government, and that white being our ideals. So the combination of that, the arrow shows the way to our achievement of that. If you go back and watch the Who We Are video, it's one of the videos that we made over a year ago, maybe close to 2 years ago on the channel. We have a video titled Who We Are, and it explains the symbolism of our nation and of our flag. And in that, we explain the story of Odysseus and how he had to come back from war in I think it's the Odyssey. He comes back from war and he has to prove himself as the rightful heir, the rightful king on his throne by stringing his bow and shooting it through 100 axe heads, the rings on 100 axe heads. And this was an impossible task for any of the other suitors that tried to claim his throne because they couldn't even string his bow. It was considered an impossible task. And when he came and he stood and did everything right, he was able to easily draw back his bow, aim, and shoot through all 100 axe heads. And that is exactly what our symbol is. It is the arrow going through the axe head. The ring and the arrow going through that is what that represents. So it represents us achieving the impossible. It represents us doing the things that our nation dreams of. And so it's taking that white from our flag, taking that purity of idea, that progressiveness in moving forward with all of the hopes and dreams of our citizens, the trust, the belief that has been put in us, and using that, and using the combination of that with our government to achieve those goals. The only way for that arrow through the axe head, that impossible dream to come true, is if it works in tandem with both our government and the ideals that we strive for. What we're currently doing, all the people who actively are the face of Aeternia, and the dream that we have for the future, the beautiful glory of Aeternia. So that is what that means. That is why they overlap. That is why it's all connected, is because it could not work without the connection. It is inherent to who we are as a people that we have that connection, that we strive for that, and to make sure that that bond is never broken between our people, between our ideals, and between our ultimate goals. But that was a fantastic question. I appreciate that, and I would love to put that in the museum as well. So thank you, Mackie. Shravi says, I like vexillology, study of flags. I've designed several flags for fun. Maybe I can help you make your flag. That sounds very cool, Shravi. We actually have our flag designed. We just need to physically sew the flag is the thing. We've been partially developing it, but we haven't physically sewn the flag. ZZ says, last time I was here, you were at 800 or 900 subscribers. Yes, we're now at 12, almost 1,300, but we're trying to push past it. We want to get to that 2K mark, and that's so hard for us right now. We're actually higher than it says on our thing up there. We're at 1270 something right now. We are slowly trying to march our way up to 1,300, then up to 1,500, then up to 2K. Nueva Scotia says AYE is provinces A or I. Nueva Scotia says yeah. Scottish Gaelic for yes. Interesting. Teaching me new things. Kingdom of Annie says, if Aeternia keeps buying land, then in 30 years they bought all of the USA. We're going to try. We're going to try to buy as much land as we can and use it to develop our country. I really want people to have many places around the world where they can stop in and know that they are in Aeternia, that they are on Aeternian soil, that they can see Aeternians living and working and trading and developing the ideals that we have put forth. Reptile Keeper says, the funny thing with all nations around me being aggressive, they force my nation to become very aggressive, and that's helped me force most of the nations into submission. So it's come back to bite them, has it? Nueva Scotia says, Eternia, have you ever considered doing micronations mapping using your micronations map? I'd enjoy that as some content. Think you'd be good at it. Thank you very much. One of the things that's interesting about micronation mapping is a lot of the time what people do with micronation mapping is they'll show like wars or whatever, and they'll show like the shrinking of land and the growing of land. But we don't really do that too much, just because a lot of the time there will be inflated land claims. So somebody will say, I claim 12 miles of land in this area, and they don't have any true proper reason for claiming that. They don't have a deed, they don't have a title, they don't have a way to have that completely uncontested as their land. So a lot of the time what we'll do is we'll ask somebody where their nation is, where they actually are represented, from where they reside, so that other nations can contact them and meet up with them physically if they're nearby, and then we put a pin right there. So we could do a micronational mapping video showing different areas of the country or areas of the world and how different micronations are, where they are, and what they're doing. But that is something that we can do at a different point. We wouldn't do like a war type thing. We wouldn't do a showing of like growing or shrinking land claims, but we could do something talking on the micronational map. And actually, if you had ideas for that, that would be a fantastic way to make content for our channel, to either become a citizen or to get an alliance with us. So if you wanted to do that as well, take a look at our micronational map, make videos about it, you absolutely could. But we could definitely do that. Reptile says, oh, by the way, AP, I'm old enough to join the Discord server again, so could I maybe have an invite? Absolutely, there should be an invite down in the description. You are more than welcome to join, and I am so glad that you have reached the age of maturity for that. 13, congratulations. And happy birthday. Nueva Scotia says, AP. Mackie says, yeah, I watched the video Who We Are, but didn't catch when you said about the arrow connects thing. I didn't actually describe that in that video, but that is something that we have developed over a period of time. And I think it was just at the time something that I didn't really think about too hard in describing in the video. The video was just me sitting in front of a camera and trying to describe that the best I could, but there is some more information for you, and I'm glad you asked about that. That's something that I didn't think people really cared enough about to inquire about, but I'm glad we've gotten to that point. I'm glad that somebody asked. Vernonium says, fun fact, the two shortest MicroWiki articles that are tied to Vernonium are the County Brantshire article and the Damien River article. That's very cool. Nueva Scotia says, for anyone who isn't scared of most horror, I recommend the movie Nosferatu. It's a really good vampire movie from 1922. Sorry, this is off topic. No, I've seen that. I've seen clips of that from SpongeBob. They have the little guy who's like, the little vampire guy, and they're like, Nosferatu. Yeah, I know it's an actual horror movie and that there's development from that, but I always found it hilarious in SpongeBob. Reptile Keeper says their aggression has been shown, however, with all the wars we get involved in. Fair enough. Vernonium says, we claim woodland that nobody owns. That's respectable. So public land can be a way for you to develop that, but there is very limited development for you to be able to do there. So if you do claim public woodland, that's fine, but technically a country does own it. Like, if you're in the US owns it. If you're in Canada, Canada owns it. You know, Canadian citizens, US citizens, whatever place you're in, they consider that their land. It is public land to the people who are a part of that nation, who spend tax money in order to keep it up and to pay park rangers and stuff like that. So you can use that as your land claim, and that's certainly suitable for a time, but you can't really do much on that land, which is part of the thing and reason why Aeternia is actively pushing to buy its own land, is because right now all the land that we have is rented. We have some legal claim to it because it's under our name in contract, but we're renting it, so we can't do everything we want with the land. Even at the point of having that legal establishment for your land claim, you still have limitations unless it is 100% deeded in your name and no one else's. So we're trying to develop that, and hopefully we'll have that very soon. Vernonium says, fun fact, Reptile Trudeau says Trudeau right now is having kind of a cover-up scandal. What happened, Trudeau? Annie says, I believe the dislike war 2 is inevitable. Hopefully not. I believe in us, Annie. Nueva Scotia says, how? How should you make content for us? You can make content by hitting us up on our email, eternianempire@gmail.com. You can also film it with something like Zoom or, some screen recording software, and you can help us out. Kingdom of Bythagol says, hello, Aeternia. Hello, Bythagol. It's good to see you. And also, welcome to the channel. I don't think I've seen you before. If I have, it's good to have you back. But as you may already know, we are the Empire of Aeternia. We're a micronation. We're trying to gain land. We're trying to develop our prestige system. And if you would like to learn more about that, potentially join an alliance with us, please subscribe. Please check out our website. You just type in Aeternian Empire or the Empire of Aeternia on Google. You should find it. Bythagol said, Annie says, because he's still talking about Israel and Palestine conflict. Oh, that's true. I would absolutely still talk about that, and I do want to talk more about that. I want to do a video at some point pretty quickly, because Israel straight up destroyed a COVID-19 testing center. They destroyed a place which had like vaccine and stuff. Like they just destroyed it. It's just gone now. So a place that already didn't have enough vaccines, a place that was already struggling, got absolutely obliterated, and that's really sad. Kingdom of Bythagol says the Israel-Palestine conflict is dumb in my opinion. It's a conflict that's been going on for a long time. It sucks. And I believe Israel's not right in just bombing civilian populations. So yeah, I agree. Some of it definitely is dumb. But to the people who are there, it's an absolute tragedy. It's something that really, really affects them. So it's not dumb for the people who are a part of it, but the way that Israel is attacking it and causing problems is an issue. Nueva Scotia says, it is. It's useless. It's very harmful, absolutely. Trudeau says, basically the micronation started a war, blah, blah, blah. They stored drugs into Trudeau and got arrested. Then apparently they were arrested for too long, and then a rumor spread that Trudeau supports crime. That's crazy. Nueva Scotia says, not dumb. Bythagol says, but they're killing each other. It's not right. It's absolutely not right. They're killing civilian populations. Nueva Scotia says, I don't know. Trudeau says, now the government of Trudeau is trying to hide any info about the conflict. That's why I barely know anything. Guys, I will say, Tiffany just woke up. She's hanging out. We actually have some plans. We're going to be exploring the nature of Aeternia today a little bit, hopefully. And so we will be presenting some cool edited content for you guys very, very soon this afternoon. It'll probably come out actually tomorrow, but we're going to be filming it, editing it, and stuff today. So if you're interested in learning more about the geology of Aeternia, about the land formations of Aeternia, about the place that we are in and the reason that we are here, please definitely check that out, and I will see you all very, very soon. Trousseau says, now they're trying to hide info. The French monarchist said, AP, are you actually a monarchist, or did you make Aeternia an empire just because it's easier to be one for a micronation? A bit of both. So I think monarchies can work well. I think they are hard to work well in a larger form. We definitely chose a monarchy because it is easier for a micronation, but depending on how things develop in the future, we will probably continue to have some form of monarchy for quite a long time. There is a lot of support for monarchism as a political philosophy in Aeternia. Reptile Keeper says, hey AP, I created a new Discord account and I'm ready to join the Discord. I'll see you in a little bit. See you in a little bit, Reptile Keeper. It's good to see you, and it's good to see everyone else. Like I said, I'm about to go, but I hope everyone has a fantastic day. The final thing I'm going to do before we shut down real quick is go ahead and check out our standings. So last time, as you guys could tell, we talked a little bit about what the stream numbers were at, what the monetization was at, and it was at 2626, 2,626 watch time hours. Now you will be able to tell it is significantly down, but we were trying to get that up. It's now at 2588, which was a huge tank. just from one day. There was probably a video that garnered us a lot of views and a lot of attention within the last 365 days, which every day that entire thing shifts over. So anytime we have a big video that is no longer in the 365-day period, it drops our watch time hours. So we're trying to actively fight all the videos and views that we're losing every day from that 365-day period in order to make the next 365-day period even better. So through the streams that we're doing, through the videos we're doing, we're trying to make a bigger and bigger impact, but every once in a while it does dip down like it is here, because we'll have a great video that we did a while back that gets taken out of the 365 days and becomes too old to count. So we are actively pushing toward our growth. If you guys want to help us grow, please do continue to watch videos. Go back and watch old videos. Leave it running in the background if you want, just watching a playlist or something. It would help a lot. And especially the streams, because they're the longest, by far the longest things that we have on the channel. So thank you all so much for helping and assisting us in our growth. We will continue to get there. We're still at 2588, and once the stream's over and yesterday's stream was counted, I'm sure we will be up at quite a large number. So thank you all so much for continuing to assist us. Thank you so much for helping us grow, and we will get there very, very soon. And until then, I will see you next time. Have a good day, everybody. Oh, real quick, Mackie says, AP, could you make a video about the Aeternia territory, because I know a lot about Aeternia but not the land? Yes, we're about to do that. Mackie says, please answer. Yes, we are about to do that. We're going to do a little bit of geology stuff today. A while back, we did a short based around some of the animals there, and we have some sand crabs that we played with from our southern territory. So if you'd like to see that, go check out that short. And other than that, we will be making a geology video pretty quickly about Aeternia. Reptile Keeper said, goodbye, AP, see you soon. Annie says he's about to go, so he probably won't. I did reply, though. I got you. Mackie says, before you shut down, we got you. Bythical says, I subbed BTW. Thank you so much. That helps. Nueva Scotia says, CAP, see you, Nueva. Edwin says, joined back last minute. Appreciate you, Edwin. You helped us grow that watch time. Scotland says, why Nueva Scotia? What for? Nueva Scotia says, have a nice day. Everyone's saying bye. Bye. Aeternia forever, everybody. See you guys.